All right, so while everybody seems to be wetting the bed over this market sell-off, I've been stacking up on Ethereum. I bought a couple Ethereum today, and I'm still confident that Ethereum will hit $10,000 to $20,000 within the next few years. That's not to say that it won't crash further. I could totally see Ethereum crashing down to $1,000 to $1,500. If it gets down there, for sure, I'm stacking up even more. And I would even consider putting on a little bit of leverage, maybe 10% of my collateral or something like that. That's how confident I am. But definitely be responsible. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So why are the markets going down? So the markets are going down because last Wednesday, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates in order to fight inflation. But actually on Wednesday, the markets actually went up, which was a little strange. It was only the day after that the markets started to go down. And since then, they've been plummeting. Stocks have been going down, bonds have been going down, meaning yields have been going up. And crypto has been crashing a lot. And tech growth stocks in particular have been hammered. Corporate earnings have been pretty bad actually for a lot of these stocks, like Netflix drastically underperformed in their quarterly earnings report. Shopify has plummeted their stock, as well as Netflix. Amazon is down 30% over the last month. Just been market-wide sell-off. Now, crypto has been going down as well. But I do think, so there seems to be this narrative that crypto will go down with the markets because crypto is a risk-on asset. So when the markets sell off, crypto sells off. And it's true, crypto has been highly correlated to the general markets. But this logic kind of assumes that the same people who own the stocks and the bonds and all that stuff own crypto. But right now, institutional adoption of crypto is very low, especially for anything that isn't Bitcoin. So I think that thesis is a bit overstated, but at the same time, crypto has been highly correlated. So if people believe that, it becomes kind of a self-reinforcing feedback loop. So kind of like technical analysis, where I think a lot of it is, or most of it is bullshit, but if people believe it, then it becomes true. So, but something to keep in mind. Remember, institutional adoption of anything that's not Bitcoin is very low, and even Bitcoin, very low. So for me, I'm still very confident. I think in the long run, Ethereum will gain much more institutional adoption than it has now. But anyways, so why am I so bullish on the Ethereum price? Well, I've already talked about this extensively, written articles on it, but basically there are two main catalysts I see happening. The first is the merge, the upcoming Ethereum 2.0 upgrade. This will make Ethereum deflationary, meaning the supply will start shrinking. And then you're gonna have, with Ethereum moving from proof of work to proof of stake, energy usage is cut by 99.5%. One of the main criticisms of blockchain is that it uses so much energy. And with this, Ethereum is going to look a lot more attractive, especially relative to Bitcoin, which is still under this energy intensive proof of work. Then you're going to have a lot more Ethereum locked up in staking, which will lock up a lot of supply. There will be a lot less incentive for miners or validators to sell their rewards, because when you stake it, you just stake it. And it's not like mining. Just lock it up. And so all of this combined, I think, is just going to drive the Ethereum price, mainly through this supply reduction. And then in addition to that, you're going to have the next thing is you're going to have layer 2s getting mainstream adoption. So layer 2s are basically they inherit the security of the Ethereum mainnet, but they allow much faster transaction times and much cheaper gas costs. And then with zero knowledge proofs, you can even get things like privacy. Right now, layer 2s are still honestly kind of in their infancy. I mean, they're production ready, at least for Arbitrum and Optimism. Arbitrum has over 3 billion in total value locked. Optimism has something like over 1 billion. But in order to get to these layer 2s, you have to go to Ethereum first and then go to these layer 2s, because there aren't that many bridges directly from the centralized exchange to the layer 2. When centralized exchanges like Coinbase start doing this, then you can go directly to the layer 2 without even touching Ethereum mainnet. You're going to have way more people using layer 2s because it's just cheaper gas, faster transaction times. Why use mainnet if you can do the same on the layer 2 and save a lot of money? So when you have the bridges directly from the centralized exchanges, as well as applications being just as supported on the layer 2s as on mainnet, then you're just gonna have way more people using the layer 2s. As a result, you're gonna have more applications built on layer 2s. It's gonna be this amazing flywheel effect, and you're gonna have, it's gonna be an explosion in usage on the Ethereum network, which will result in increased demand and higher prices. And personally, I think that one blockchain will get the lion's share of the market just due to the network effects of it. And it's not to say other blockchains won't exist, it's just they're enormous network effects to just use to one chain, to this primary chain. So I think that's where the value will accrue. Although I'm still interested in like these other app blockchain ecosystems like Cosmos and Polkadot and stuff, but I'm not really heavily invested in those. So yeah, I mean, and if you're wondering like, okay, isn't crypto just this giant Ponzi scheme? Like, what's the point of crypto? Again, well, okay, the most obvious use case, which even Bitcoin has, is just being a self-custodial store of value with no middleman. You don't have to trust anybody else. You can fully own your assets and you can do whatever you want with it. No KYC laws. You can send it to whoever you want, in whatever country you want. That in itself has enormous value, especially if you're from a country whose currency is inflationary. So that's the obvious store of value that even Bitcoin has. But then with Ethereum, you've got smart contract, meaning that you can make the money programmable. You've got DeFi, which right now, if you deposit stablecoin into Aave on Ethereum, you can get basically a 2% yield, which might not sound like a lot, but what's the savings rate in savings accounts in the traditional banking system? I think it's like 0.07% or something like that. So compared to that, you get way more money right now in Ethereum or in DeFi in general. So you've got that, and then you got the ability to take out loans, collateralized loans. You can just do whatever you want. You've got NFTs. You've got just anything can be tokenized, right? And these tokens can represent anything. They can represent kind of ownership in kind of like a company or in a DAO, membership in a DAO. NFTs can do that as well. Just in general, anything that can be tokenized, I believe, probably will be, and there's going to be an explosion in this in the long run. And in the end, it's going to be something that just powers this. It'll be the tech that powers like just digital asset ownership, and you won't even notice it. It'll just be there. So yeah, I'm very bullish. Again, short term, who knows? Be responsible. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Make sure you have enough cash to weather any downturn, or if you were to get laid off or something, or your business would go under, make sure you have at least 6 to 12 months in cash in order to cover that, and so that you won't ever be forced to liquidate. But definitely be dollar cost averaging in on these huge downturns if you believe in this bullish thesis, and don't lose hope. Diamond hands wins out in the end. Like Warren Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Right now, people are fearful. This is when you should be stacking up. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.